Hello, everyone, and welcome in. Today is Tuesday, April 30th, and this is your daily card reading where we'll take a look and see what all messages and energies are coming through for you from God, Spirit, the Divine. So I will take a look at the energies for the collective first and then pull some cards individually for the sign groupings after that. I'm still working on the readings for the first half of May. There's been some personal issues that have taken some front and center stage, so I'm working on getting those done as quickly as possible. So make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell so that you can be alerted when those videos post. But let's go ahead and jump into the reading and see what we have coming through for today. The World, so we have a completion of a cycle, we have our King of Swords in reverse, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So there's some delay. Something is coming to an end. Some cycle or lesson is coming to an end, but there's been a little bit of like a sense of delays. You might feel like there's bad karma, but it's really just that things need to take a little bit longer to finish wrapping up. Then we also have our King of Swords in reverse energy, and this is going to be about some of this like coldness and weakness and cruelty. So I guess the message there is that's going to be pushing in on you, this coldness and kind of cruelty because of the fact that we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So it's like the message there being don't let the delays or things kind of stalling out like push you into that bad space. Know that the completion of the cycle is coming up. It's just, you probably want it to end out a little bit faster than it is. So that is the overall message. Let's go ahead and jump in and look at the individual sign groupings. So today we will start with water and see what all wants to come through for our Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So the Magician. So and since that one jumped, I'll pull another one. That's two cards. There we go. So the Magician and the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man is also a card that has this sense of waiting associated with it. It's like this self-imposed period of reflection, and you're trying to work on how do I see things a little bit differently? Can you see a situation from a different perspective? And then the Magician is how do you transmute that energy? So it's kind of the message I'm getting overall in general is how do we deal with needing to be patient and know that that's destined and fated, as that's part of it. And there's also this energy, I should have said this probably at the beginning because this probably applies to everybody here, but before the universe gives you what you're wanting, like what you're asking for, what you're manifesting, there's going to be some trials along the way. Like the universe is kind of double checking, hey, is this really what this person wants? And it's said that that's one of the things, like right before all of your dreams come true type of thing. There's one final push from the universe of, are you sure you really want this? And so when there's delays, don't necessarily take that as well, this is dumb, let me just throw in the towel and walk away, because that could be that final test from the universe of, do you really want it, or are you going to give up that easily on what you say you want? Purpose. I know what I'm here to do. And so that can tie in here. Let's see if there's any other messages about what is this cycle that's coming to completion. So let me pull a couple cards here and see. It's interesting. They're jumping, but they're going back in the deck like they're supposed to. Ace of Swords is you're resisting some breakthrough and some clarity. And then your Seven of Wands. So this is the clarification on the cycle that's there. So stamina, perseverance. So it's, even if it seems like it's futile, like scrubbing a toilet with a toothbrush, but then your Ace of Swords in reverse is there's kind of this confusion and like loss of focus and loss of clarity. So it's like you're putting yourself into this Hanged Man position to try to see, am I missing something? Like, what is going on here? What is the reason for the delays? All right. Then we have balance. So it's all about how can you find that balance within you of, wanting to move forward, but accepting that maybe there's some delays. Maybe things aren't going to move forward in the way that you want them to. So it is all about how do you find that balance? How do you not let it totally derail you and totally screw up the rest of your day or your week? And then let's pull one for Sufi Wisdom Oracle. Silencing the mind. Let silence guide you to your inner peace. So this is definitely this, how do you transmute this energy, is when you're running into these delays, when you're running into these setbacks, what are you doing? Are you persevering? Are you throwing in the towel? How do you find that balance within you? And how do you quiet your mind from this constant chatter of, well, this is stupid. Why are you even doing this? And just kind of have that sense of inner peace, knowing that things are going on the timeline that they're supposed to go on, and that the end of this rough cycle is approaching. You just have to be patient and wait for it, find your purpose, find your clarity, and move forward in that direction. So that was the message for our water signs. Let's take a look at our air signs and see what wants to come through for them. That is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The sun. So there's blessings that want to come out for you. It's just a matter of, there's some setbacks from a Wheel of Fortune standpoint, and also with the King of Swords in reverse, this weakness and this cruelty. It's kind of like that is going to push the timing further. So if you give in to those feelings, it's going to push it further. So I am going to pull a couple cards here just for some clarification on this. We have King of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Hierophant in reverse. So it's interesting. We have two of these kings in reverse. So King of Pentacles in reverse is some like financial instability, a little bit of like greediness. And, if you're worried about your finances, that could be part of the cycle that's coming to an end. And then we also have the Hierophant in reverse, which is about breaking free of traditional structures, thinking outside of the box. So if you're worried about your finances, that, I don't have a traditional 9-to-5 job, what is that going to mean for me? What is that going to look like? Know that you do have abundance coming in and you do have blessings coming in. So don't let yourself get into a mindset of, okay, well then I need to go down a different path because, my finances aren't where I thought they would be. And then also with this, again, this King of Swords in reverse energy, that's kind of that weakness and cruelty, like that sort of energy. And it's easy to lose heart when things are being delayed, but the trick is to closing out this cycle is don't let that happen. So you need to work on staying in your abundant mindset. Keep focused on your blessings. Know that they're coming in, even if they're not coming in as quickly as you would have hoped or thought that they might. And I said this in the water sign reading, realizing I probably should have said it in general before I started individual signs. But some of the times when you hear about manifesting, they say that before the universe gives you what you've been asking for, there's going to be like a major final test. Like, do you really want this? Or were you just saying that you wanted it? Like, if you really want it, a little bit of a delay isn't going to be like, well, never mind, I don't want that anymore. And so that kind of like weeds out, is it really that important to you, or were you just saying it was important to you? Regret. I know that I cannot change the past. So this is also this sense of, if you're, whatever the delays are, you can't change them. You can't go back and say, well, but if I would have done this, it would have sped things up. If I would have done this, it would have sped things up. So the Wheel of Fortune, even when it's in reverse, it still has that element of being destined and fated. So some of it is knowing that having some of these delays was part of the plan all along. And it's how do you process having those delays? If everything comes easily to you all the time, then you don't have as much of a sense of accomplishment or a sense of appreciation if you just have to try for 10 minutes and hey, something works out perfectly for you. So sometimes part of the lesson of appreciating what you have is that it was something that was difficult to achieve, or it required a lot of growth from you, or something along those lines. And then ambush your fear with your ferocious dreams. So if you're worried, if you're sitting here worried, like, but whatever this missed timing was, well, that's never going to come back around for me. That's never going to come through for me. It's never going to materialize. Ambush that with your dreams and saying, no, it will. I just need to approach it a little bit differently. So rather than having that pessimistic view of it, saying, well, I can't. I'm just, I'm never going to be able to, fill in the blank, get a new job, get a better house, find a loving partner. Say, as opposed to saying, I'm never going to be able to, the way to phrase it to yourself is, how do I? Because the mind hates unanswered questions. So the mind, even when you're not awake or consciously thinking about it, the mind's going to keep working on it. So give your mind something better to do as opposed to stewing and cycling through, repetitive self-defeating things. Put it to task for you. Have it work on creative solutions. Like, how can I get a better house? How can I attract in the person of my dreams? How can I find a job that's, better suited to me? So keep focused on your abundance and knowing that a tough cycle is going to come to an end, and, really start focusing on where is it that you want to go. Energy of love. Behold the world through the eyes of love. And so this is important, is to make sure you're sitting in that loving energy. Even if you have a sense of like regret that, oh, I wish I would have done something different, it's okay to acknowledge that, okay, if presented with this situation again, I would rather go down this path. I would rather make this choice because I've already made this other choice and I didn't really like where that took me. So next time when this opportunity presents, I'm going to take a different path. That's fine. But to just sit there and kick yourself over and over, oh, I wish I would have done something different, isn't going to help. So sit in the energy of love, of what do I, when the world gives me this opportunity the next time, how do I want to handle it? What is the most loving way to handle it? And sit in that energy. Ooh. All right. So, fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The moon just kicked over when I was shuffling, so we'll see if that actually pops up. But remember, the moon card is about lies, trickery, illusions, that sort of thing. So you might be dealing with some of those. We have the Chariot popping out, overcoming obstacles, and then Devil. So overcoming this Devil energy, so fire signs. Overcoming this Devil energy, because yes, there's going to be some setbacks, and for you, the Devil energy here can be another person behaving in a cruel, bitter, kind of weak sort of way towards you, and that is the obstacle. Like, that's what is presenting itself as delays and setbacks and missed opportunities. But you have the Chariot energy coming in with the World. So the Chariot wants to bring you this sense of overcoming these obstacles, wants to close out this cycle that you're having with this Devil energy. So, so fire signs, keep an eye out for that. We'll pull a couple more cards. I've been doing this for each of the other groupings too. We'll pull a couple cards here about what does that, okay, that one, the Empress in reverse and the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man came out as well for water signs. So this is that period where you're, oh my gosh, this is a lot of major arcana energy. So for fire signs, this is a really pivotal transitional time for you, because out of the 7 cards that are out here, 6 of them are major arcana. Granted, this is only major arcana in those cards, but of the other 5, 4 out of the 5 of them are major arcana. So this is a big issue that you've been grappling with, and it's something that does need your attention. So when it's all these major arcana cards coming out, that means that this is an important life lesson. This is part of your journey. It's not just, oh, hey, my neighbor my neighbor's griping at me about my lawn's too long, so now I have to deal with that headache. Like it's not that. This is like major milestone transformative points in your life that are needing some attention. So with this, it's, the Empress in reverse. Like the Empress is that divine feminine energy. It's that higher consciousness. It's that inner knowing. And so when you're not sitting in that energy, when it comes up in the reverse, it's almost like that wounded feminine side a little bit. So you're, either somebody around you is in that energetic state, and that could be that devil energy, is that there's somebody who's sitting in this in this tough state. Hi, sorry about that. So, as we're looking at this energy, somebody around you could be sitting in this Empress in reverse energy. But this has that feeling of being like unloved, unappreciated. And that is that devil energy. So I feel like that's kind of been a message that's been woven in here for fire signs for quite a while, is that there's this energy pushing in on you. And it's an energy of feeling, unloved. It's kind of this like bitter, cruel energy that's like pushing in on you. And so this is part of I would say it's part of your growth cycle. It's part of your learning here, because that's what's causing you the delays. That force, that presence, that energy in your life is what's causing you delays from moving on, from finishing out cycles, and from ascending to the next level, from being more in alignment. And so there's energy coming in that's trying to push you to do something about it. So remember, when you work on manifesting and things like that, the universe doesn't just, boom, hey, I'm going to give you this. If you pray for courage, you don't, the universe doesn't just all of a sudden make you courageous. They give you opportunities to be brave. And so it's that sort of thing, is if you're wanting out of being in this devil energy where you're feeling unloved, you're feeling that cruel, bitter energy, the universe is going to give you opportunities to get out of it, but it's still up to you to take that step, because remember, that's free will right there. So you'll be given opportunities. It's like, it's this, I call it a three-sided cage. You're in a three-sided cage. You just need to figure out, okay, it might look like I've got bars all around me, but turn around, look over your shoulder. There's no bars behind you. You may feel like you're backstepping to have to walk out, like to have to walk backwards and then out and around, but this is that hanged man energy. See it from a different perspective. Like, look around, see things differently, and you'll realize you're in a three-sided cage. Loneliness. I know that I am never alone. And it could be that there's that sense of, better, this just popped into my mind, better the devil you know. So even if you're in a current situation with somebody and it's not happy, it's kind of like, well, better the devil you know. At least it's somebody, because you're worried about loneliness. But remember, you're never really alone. Like, you have your soul tribe. There's a lot of other people around you. So know that they're there to support you on this journey. It says, fall in love with your own story, success in transformation, and rise. Those are the ones that jumped out of my face as I was shuffling. So these are really going in with this rise and success and transformation. So it's a transformative period. Anytime you have these major life events, these major transformations, spiritual awakenings, things like that, you do go through periods of feeling lonely while you're ascending and while you're leveling up, so to speak. But then once you settle into what that energy is, that actually draws in more connectedness, more happiness. And then the fall in love with your own story is, if you were to look back on your deathbed and read what had happened in your life as if it was a story, how would you want it to go? Like, what parts would you be really cheering for yourself? Like, yeah, you're almost there, just do it. Or are you going to be going, oh my gosh, wow, this character is tiring, or tiresome. Like, they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, and they're not happy. Like if you were to read your story, would you have that warm and fuzzy, like, oh, they overcame so much, they did this, or would it be like you're sitting there sighing and shaking your head like, oh, come on, character, come on. Okay. And then free will, get out of your cocoon. So this goes with that example I gave of you're in a 3-sided prison. So there's bars, 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 but you can turn around and walk backwards and get out of it. It's free will. So the universe is giving you the opportunity. You still have to take the opportunity. So that is the message for our fire signs, is the universe is giving you the opportunity. You just have to take that step. You have to take that opportunity. Use your free will. So now we are on to our earth signs, which is our Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's see what messages want to come through for you for today. Apparently 2 of them. We have the Tower, and then we have the High Priestess in reverse. So Tower is that energy coming through of, there's going to be some massive amount of change happening in your life. Now, this can either be brought on by you if you identify some of these patterns and say, you know what, I want to take control of the situation. I'm done with this. I don't want this structure in place anymore. But the more you resist, the bigger the tower is going to be when it comes in. So think about it this way. Think about it almost like a dam. The longer you dam up the river, the more water that's going to be building behind it. So when it goes, boom, it goes. If you identify that earlier and say, hey, we really need to break down this dam, this really shouldn't be here, then you get some water, but you can control it a little bit better. If you're going to sit there and keep like holding it up like, no, I don't want this to come down. When it does come down, it's going to be a big whoosh. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the possibility of changing things. So this, and also then with your High Priestess in reverse, this is going to be some of this energy of, again, kind of feeling like you're unloved, and like there's just some uncertainty, some secrets, like I don't really know what's going on. I'm not sure what my next step should be. And with that going along with the Tower, it's almost like some of these secrets are going to keep building and building until a Tower comes, and then all of a sudden it's going to be like, whoa. But that will help you close out this cycle as well. So this cycle that's wanting to close, the Tower is going to help close that. It's going to help you learn that lesson. So even if you've been feeling like there's been some delays and some setbacks, know also with that example I was giving of the dam, the delays and the setbacks are building up a whole bunch of this back pressure. So, make sure that you're being observant of what's going on around you. Relationships. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. Now remember that card, when it comes out, it doesn't say I'm attracted to people that give me that warm and fuzzy. The higher good could be learning situations, and sometimes if there's something you don't want to learn, you are in a scenario with somebody because you're supposed to learn that lesson. And if you're really stubborn about not wanting to learn that lesson, it can come through as a Tower moment. Somebody's trying to get you to change certain behaviors, and you don't want to do it, but that person's in your life to make those, to kick you in the butt to change those behaviors. It could be a big explosive something that happens. Okay, so the jumper card was the edge of evolution feels messy, and then manifesting and doing is what I pulled. So the edge of evolution feels messy. So as you are growing as a person, and I don't know why this example comes to mind. If you were, say you were robbing banks. I know that seems very extreme, but if that was something that you were, like robbing banks or robbing businesses or something, and somebody comes into your life and they're trying to get you to stop doing it, and you keep pushing back, no, I'm fine, and they're like, you're going to get caught one of these days. You're going to get caught. They're like, no, I'm fine. They may end up putting you in a position where you do get caught, and then that edge of evolution is going to feel messy. Like, oh my gosh, now, now there's all this legal trouble. I'm getting arrested for all of this. But the purpose of it is to get you to stop stealing, stop robbing banks, whatever. And so that person, is trying to push you to grow and be a better person. And as you resist it, then it becomes a bigger tower moment, and it's going to feel messy, but know that you are growing as a person when something like that happens. So I tried to pick an example that was extreme, that I'm guessing nobody has that as their current scenario, but I think you get what I'm meaning. Determination. Perseverance leads to fortune. So some of that is, as you keep at it and keep working at it with a pure heart of, I want to get better. I want to move forwards. It says leads to fortune. Now, remember, that doesn't necessarily mean material wealth. It can also mean spiritual growth. It can mean deeper understanding. And that's where your abundance comes in, is when you persevere and you're looking at it from all different perspectives. What is the lesson? How could I learn this? How should I do things differently? Then that leads to that abundance, that blessings, that knowledge, that, opening up to higher truths. So that is the message today, and I hope that this has been helpful for you. But as always, take only what resonates and leave the rest. And I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.